Hello everyone, my name is Glenda Amaral. I'm a PhD student at the University of Bolzano. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present our work. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to present our paper titled Ontology-based Modeling and Analysis of Trustworthiness Requirements, Preliminary Results. This is the agenda with the topics we are going to cover during this presentation. We will start with context and motivation. Then we are going to talk about trust warrant signals, and the concept of trustworthiness requirements. We will present our ontology-based approach for the modeling of trustworthiness requirements and our ontology of trustworthiness requirements. Then we are going to finish with conclusions and future work. Let's start talking about trust, which is an essential ingredient of everyday life. Trust is especially important in the case of safety-critical services that can directly affect human lives, such as medical diagnosis, military operations, and vehicle driving. And also in the case of critical decision-making activities, such as security and finance, where significant assets are at stake. The advent of artificial intelligence technologies made it possible to build systems that drive a car, decide on a loan application, diagnose a patient, or kill an adversary in combat. Such systems signal a new era where software-intensive systems perform tasks that were performed in the past only by humans because they require judgments that only humans possess. As systems that make critical decisions are being developed with or without AI technologies, it's essential that their users trust them in the same way they trust their doctors, drivers, and soldiers. These considerations call for studying a new class of requirements, which we name here trustworthiness requirements. But what exactly is trust? And what makes a system trustworthy? In this work, we answer these questions in terms of a recently proposed reference ontology of trust. This ontology defines trust as a complex mental state of a truster regarding a trustee and its behavior. An agent trusts another only relative to a goal, for the achievement of which she counts upon the trustee. The complex mental state of the truster is composed of his intention and a set of beliefs of the truster about the trustee and its behavior, which are the belief that the trustee has the capability to perform a desired action or exhibit an expected behavior, and the belief that the trustee's vulnerabilities will not prevent her from performing this action or exhibiting the expected behavior. In this example, the truster has the intention of making a payment and he is counting on the internet bank system to reach his goal. He believes that the system is capable of making the payment and that its vulnerabilities will not prevent it from making the payment as expected. Another ontological commitment made by the reference ontology of trust refers to the relation between trust and risk, which is the fact that trust presupposes risk. And it's mainly because the trustee may not perform the expected action, either because he is no more capable of performing the action, or because a vulnerability may prevent him from performing the action. Another possibility is the trustee performs the action, but it does not have the desired result, which may occur due to a capability-related issue or a vulnerability-related issue. Let's return to the example in which the truster has the intention of making a payment and he is counting on the internet banking system to reach his goal. Let's suppose that a network malfunction prevents the banking system to access the internet. This situation can be considered a threatening situation that triggers a threat event, which is the system cannot deliver its capability of making payments. As a result, the truster will not be able to make the payment and consequently will not reach his goal. The truster not being able to make the payment corresponds to a loss event as it erodes the truster's intention of making the payment. Here we have a fragment of the reference ontology of trust, which is a well-founded ontology grounded in the unified foundation ontology. In this ontology, the truster is a cognitive agent endowed with goals and beliefs, and it's modeled as an UFO agent. The trustee is not necessarily a cognitive system. It's just an entity capable of having an impact on a goal of the truster. Capabilities and vulnerabilities are dispositions that inhere in the trustee, which are manifested in particular situations through the occurrence of events. Trust is modeled as a complex mode, a dependent entity composed of a truster intention, whose propositional content is a goal of the truster, and a set of beliefs that inhere in the truster and are externally dependent on the dispositions that inhere in the trustee. These beliefs include the belief that the trustee has the capability to perform the desired action, and the belief that the trustee's vulnerabilities will not prevent her from performing the desired action. One advantage of making the components of trust explicit is that this knowledge can be used as input to the definition of trustworthy signals that ensure trustworthy behavior. Once the system's capabilities and vulnerabilities related to the trust of the stakeholder are known, it's possible to reason about the signals that the system should emit to indicate that it's capable of successfully realizing the capabilities and prevent the manifestation of the vulnerabilities. For example, information about how privacy and security measures are implemented could be provided as signals of trustworthiness of a system. Other relevant examples of trustworthy signals are data certificates and data provenance information. Requirements are prescriptions of intended states of affairs that the system to be should bring about. Personal requirements constitute a category of requirements where the desired state of affairs involve attitudinal or mental properties of the system's stakeholders. Trustworthiness requirements are personal requirements where the desired states of affairs are stakeholder mental states that include an attitude of trust towards the system to be. We rely on an ontology of non-functional requirements to define trustworthiness requirements as quality requirements. This ontology provides an ontological interpretation of non-functional requirements in which non-functional requirements refer to qualities taking quality values in particular quality regions. This means that quality requirements constrain the level of presence of a quality in its subject. For example, being red is a property that constrains the color quality of an apple to be in the red region of a color quality space. C is the color quality of the apple A. It's associated with a color quality space, and it takes a value in the red region of this color quality space. Likewise, being trustworthy is a constraint for agents or services to fall in the trustworthiness region of a space that also includes an untrustworthiness region. In this example, C is the trustworthiness quality of the system S. It's associated with a trustworthiness quality space, and it takes a value in the trustworthiness region of this space, which also includes an untrustworthiness region. This is a fragment of the ontology of non-functional requirements. In this ontology, a requirement is defined as a goal which is the propositional content of an intention of an agent. Requirements are specialized into non-functional requirements, also named quality goals, and functional requirements. Functional requirements refer to a function that has the potential to make certain behavior in particular situations. Non-functional requirements refer to qualities taking quality values in particular quality regions. For example, a software system is considered to have a good usability if the value associated to its usability requirement maps to a region good in the usability quality space. We propose a reference model of a well-founded ontology that characterizes the concept of trustworthiness requirements in the context of software systems, which we call here the ontology of trustworthiness requirements. We believe that the concept clarification provided by this ontology promotes practical implications in terms of improving trustworthiness requirements specifications. This can be accomplished due to the better understanding of what trustworthiness requirements are and how they relate to other concepts which should also be specified, such as systems capabilities, vulnerabilities, trustworthy signals, etc. Our ontology of trustworthiness requirements is specified in Ontology-based and thus is compliant with the meta-ontological commitments of the Unified Foundation Ontology. In our proposal, we rely on the trust-related concepts defined in the reference ontology of trust and on the ontological interpretation of non-functional requirements defined in the ontological of non-functional requirements. We modeled the requirement as a goal, which is the propositional content of an intention of a stakeholder. Quality requirement is a type of requirement, and trustworthiness requirement is a type of quality requirement. Quality requirements restrict the value of the qualities at hand to a particular set of values of the corresponding quality region. Stakeholders are represented as agents that play the role of trustor, while the system plays the role of trustee. The system intends to satisfy the trustworthiness requirements. We represent trust as a complex mode composed of a stakeholder's intention, whose propositional content is a goal of the stakeholder, and a set of beliefs that inhere in the stakeholder and are externally dependent on dispositions that inhere in the system. These beliefs include the belief that the system has the capability to perform the desired action, and the belief that the system's vulnerabilities will not prevent it from performing this action. The system can emit trustworthy signals in order to indicate that it is capable of successfully realizing the capabilities and prevent the manifestation of the vulnerabilities. Here we represent the emergence of trustworthiness-related risks. In order to realize the capabilities, the system performs some actions that bring about a resulting situation. The resulting situation may satisfy the stakeholder's goal, and in this case, it is considered a successful situation. Or, in the worst case, it may not have the desired result, and the stakeholder will not be able to achieve her goal. In this case, the resulting situation stands for a threatening situation that may trigger a threat event, which may lead to a loss event that impacts the intentions in a negative way, as it hurts the stakeholders' intentions of reaching a goal. In the same way, system vulnerabilities may enable the occurrence of risk events that in the worst case may cause a loss event, which will hurt the stakeholders' intentions of reaching a goal. To conclude, our proposal analyzes the components of the trust complex mental state of the trustor in order to identify what the system should have for stakeholders to trust it. These elements are fundamental for a better understanding and proper elucidation of trustworthiness requirements. Moreover, They are the key for the identification of trustworthiness-related risks that may arise when the requirements are not fulfilled accordingly. Understanding the elements of the stakeholders' trustworthiness towards the system to be is important because they reveal the qualities and properties the system should have in order to be considered trustworthy and effectively promote well-placed trust. Another advantage of making the components of trust explicit is that this knowledge can be used as input to the definition of trustworthy signals that ensure trustworthy behavior. Finally, the identification of trust components is equally important to the assessment of risks related to the capabilities and vulnerabilities, which are the focus of stakeholders' beliefs. As future work, we plan to further validate our ontology by doing real case studies and having experts evaluate the results. In addition, we want to define ontological patterns based on our ontology to support the modeling and analysis of trustworthiness requirements, aiming at facilitating the development of trustworthy systems. We also plan to propose a systematic process for identifying trustworthiness requirements grounded on these patterns and on the ontological account of trustworthiness requirements proposed in this work. And that's all. Thank you very much for listening.